Theorems about parallelograms. For numbers 21 to 22, we're going to complete the statements and justification. Each two-column proof, we're going to prove quadrilateral with diagonals that bisect each other form a parallelogram. So here we have A to E is congruent to C to E. B to E is congruent to D to E. That's given to us. So what's going to happen is we're going to say that angle BEA is congruent to angle DEC. We're also going to say that angle BEC is congruent to angle DEA. Why can we say this? Vertical angles are congruent. So this angle is congruent to this angle, and then this angle right here is congruent to this angle. So we're going to have triangle BEA is going to be congruent to triangle DEC. And then we have triangle BEC is congruent to triangle DEA. What's the reason behind each of these pairs? It's because of side, angle, side. Once we've established that each pair of triangles are congruent by side, angle, side, now we have corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So angle ABE is congruent to angle CDE. And angle CBE is congruent to angle ADE. So A to B is parallel to D to C, and C to B is parallel to D to A. So congruent alternate interior angles form parallel lines. What that means is, since we have a pair of parallels, ABCD is a parallelogram. Look at number 22. Same way, we have A to E congruent, C to E, B to E congruent, D to E. Vertical angles, so angle AEB is angle CED. Angle CEB is angle AED. And that's because vertical angles are congruent. So triangle AEB is congruent to triangle CED. And triangle CEB is congruent to triangle AED. So with these angles congruent, these triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. So now we have corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. We have angle EAB, angle ECD. We also have angle ECB, so angle EAD. So when this happens, we have congruent alternate interior angles. A to B is going to be parallel to D to C, and then C to B is parallel to D to A. And again, when this happens, we have ABCD is a parallelogram. Numbers 23 to 28 were to complete the relationship with congruence, parallel, or equals to 180. Circle the key idea. So number 23, notice we have P to S. That's going to be congruent to A to S. T to S is congruent to R to S. So the reasoning for this happening is because your diagonals are bisecting each other. If we look at number 24, angle D is congruent angle C. Notice they have the same symbol. And angle K is congruent to angle B. Again, same symbol. Opposite angles are congruent. Looking at number 25, angle RCS is congruent to angle KSC. And we have angle RSC congruent to angle KCS. So when this happens, we have alternate interior angles are congruent. Number 26, notice we have angle R and angle Y. and we also have angle L and angle O. Notice these two are going to equal each other. So right over here, what we're going to have, our opposite angles are congruent. Taking a look at number 27. We have RE and we have SD parallel. We have SR and ED parallel. So that means our opposite sides are parallel. Taking a look at number 28, we have TX, that's going to be congruent to SA. S to T is congruent to A to X. So our opposite sides are congruent.